Ace Attorney!
Chronicles.
Obviously, we're very inconsistent at when we're recording stuff and when we're not.
Yep. We have real lives to live.
We have jobs to do. Believe it or not, YouTube isn't the most reliable company for anything.
Yeah.
Actually, did they get sued for false employment in several countries?
Maybe? I haven't heard that personally, so I'm not gonna comment. But I wouldn't be surprised, no?
Okay. God, where did we even leave off?
We're still figuring out.
I think we actually made it to the courtroom.
No, we didn't. We don't actually get to go to court. I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that.
Wish we'd managed to find some clue as to what that speckled band might be.
We didn't manage to investigate at all.
We did find a few clues, at least.
And I imagine that we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past that sailor guarding the door.
He's clearly glaring at us, as if to say, don't even think about it. Oh, wait a minute.
What is it?
Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where'd he go?
Oh yes, he's completely disappeared.
When did he do that? He slipped away as quiet as the wind, but not before ensuring that we're securely back in my wrists.
I could hear the salt from yesterday. Did we look around the hallway? That door leads to the second class area.
It's locked. I can't open it.
No, well, that stands to reason. No one wants to let the murderer escape.
Gosh, she gave me a very stern look when she said that. Yeah, I still fucking hate Susato. Books on top of that table. They're, that book on top of the... I can't read. That book on top of the table there really is huge. There's a pen with it, too.
Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log.
Shall we have a little look through it? It's blank.
The writing is so neat and precise, every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded.
You wouldn't expect a rough and ready soldier to have such a beautiful handwriting.
Honestly, I thought the problem would be is it's in Russian.
I know, right?
Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank.
Perhaps that means there was nothing to report. That doesn't guarantee
anything. I
anything.
still would have think they would have wrote something.
First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin.
Not our cabin, it's Kazuma-sama's.
It's Best Boy's room. Sorry?
Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin.
Susato, this is why you're such a gem. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. Anyway, wonder if Inspector Hosonaga has managed to uncover any clues.
Yes, we should probably find him and ask. Can't go into Miss Pablo's cabin. New stuff, yay!
Stuff has...
Been updated. You can tell because it told us the date again.
No, there's stuff that's been moved.
Yes, on that subject, I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga is unscathed.
What do you mean, unscathed?
Surely you haven't forgotten, have you, Naruhito-san? Don't you remember when he said about allowing you out of this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it, and he said he'd lay his life on the line for you.
Well, that's his mistake.
That was his mistake.
I'm sure he has... I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see. What has he to say for himself? He might have some new information for us. You never know.
Do we look around first or try to talk to him?
Yes, talk to him. Because I can do that.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know what? Those weren't on the floor before.
Yeah. Wasn't Kazuma's sword somewhere else?
No, it was there.
Oh, okay.
Who the fuck are you?
That's the guy we need to talk to, remember?
Oh wait, it is. You look like just a regular sailor.
That was the point.
Oh, you're back. Inspector.
What happened to you? Your faces.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to get back into his voice.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Please, don't worry about it. They're just scratches.
Tis but a flesh wound.
Made by a bear, maybe. When I told the captain that I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fist, then toss me overboard. What? But the pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So it was nothing, really. It looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to.
Well, thanks to your efforts, we can now know a little about the neighboring cabin.
Yes, so I understand.
Oh,
I bumped into a man claiming to be the great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Herlock Sholmes. I don't think he was German, though. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes then? We can tell you what we've found out. Yes, let us do it. What? Nikola Pavlova? She's in the cabin next door? Oh? Do you know who she is? Please. What self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that graceful angel? Dying. Oops, I think I upset him there. Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to the case, at least. No? How? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? Oops. Now I've definitely upset him.
Inspector, has your investigation here proved fruitful?
If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to Hong Kong police. So, I'm just keeping watch here, trying not to take my eyes off the job.
Oh, I see.
Ah, there is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. What?
Yes, do tell us, Inspector, please. Oh, Mr. Sholmes was here, was he?
Yes. He seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much, as he crept about on the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Ugh. Actually, now that you mention it, yes. Just one thing. But he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish, he said. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. It was when he was over there, by the piece of broken glass. Do you see?
Yeah, because that stain wasn't there before. Ah, perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark, do you think?
Ah, yes, that must be it. But how did Mr. Sholmes know that it was shoe polish? That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea.
Oopsies.
What is this, Sato?
Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue.
Dark tan? He's sort of dark brownish red then.
Yes, a little like the color of red wine, but darker. I have repaired them for him.
Oh? Does this mean that this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoe as they scuffed on the floor?
I guess that's possible.
It would have to be very fresh.
Polish, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, like, doesn't polish not rub off once it's dry?
What's the new information you have, Inspector? It's this.
Autopsy report.
The Berea's medical officer has finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report.
Autopsy report.
Oh. Kazuma's post-mortem report.
Kazuma-sama.
So what was the cause of death? Damage to the cervical vertebrae is what's written in the report.
His neck was broken?
There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury. So at first, I think they were considering poison. But it turns out they found no traces of poison in his system at all. What weapon was used then? Nothing has been found as yet. But the fact that there are no signs of a wound suggests that it may have been a blunt object, something that wouldn't leave a mark. I see. No, don't fucking tell me he just slipped on that and fell due to not having sea legs. God.
All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck could induce death.
He slipped and fell and died. They just killed him off because he slipped and fell.
That's not why they killed him off. It was a...
That's how they killed him off. That's what I've deduced. He slipped on the fucking bottle, and they're gonna say, oh yeah, the rocking of the boat made him walk unstable. So he slipped, fell, and broke his neck. Anyway.
I already read that.
I don't recall you reading it.
Okay, fine. All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck could induce death. It is a possibility, and no other wound would be left.
Kazuma. I have a second copy of the report. If it might be useful, you're welcome to have it.
Well, of course an autopsy report would be useful.
Really? Are you sure? Yes, it's fine. I trust you.
Surprised, Oopsie.
After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never have agreed to you leaving this cabin in the first place, would I?
This man took a beating for us. Guilt.
Sato, you deserve to feel guilty. The post-mortem report has been added into the court record. Now, before we continue,
Read the post-mortem report.
because of the time of death is not yet determined.
Well, we know
So
it's...
it's just resulted in instant death. Instant death. Keep that in mind. Certainly broken as a result of a strong blow to the area.
It's just gonna be like the case 1 or case 2 in the first Ace Attorney, where it's like, this person died instantly, so they couldn't have written a message before they died.
Objection! Take this motherfucking updated autopsy report! That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yes, that might be for the best. Thank you, Hosonaga.
Poor Inspector. You look exhausted.
Oh? No. Well... I feel terrible that I failed to protect Asagi-san. He was my responsibility.
Ellipses.
Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. The truth is, I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke this morning. A heavy head? That's interesting. My head's still throbbing too.
Isn't that weird?
Wait a fucking minute. Monoxide? All the books provided for passengers accompanying this cabin, neatly arranged on the shelf.
They were all over the place when we first looked around, if you remember.
Yes, you tidied them up, didn't you? Tampering with the crime scene.
You have to look after the ship's property. Unruly behavior in this cabin leads to damage.
But it really wasn't me who knocked them over.
Well, anyway, I feel much better now that they're neatly lined up. I can't relax when things are untidy. Except it's still tampering with the crime scene.
Unpopular opinion? I hate Sasato, and I still don't like Sholmes.
Yeah, I hate for that second part.
I don't give a shit. People are allowed to have their opinions. He hasn't yet earned my respect. He may yet earn it, but he hasn't yet. This is where Kazuma spent his final moments, writing his diary.
1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound.
And yet before, she's like, I couldn't possibly read this.
Yeah. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Okay, so he definitely died between 1:30 and 2. So we can narrow down his time of death even more.
Yeah, here's her writing here on this page. It's almost impossible to believe that he's gone.
Kazuma-sama left us a valuable clue in these words, I'm sure of it. We have to solve this mystery, Naohiro-san.
We will.
I think you could look at... yeah.
So this ventilator joins to Miss Pavlova's cabin.
Yes, that's right.
And just a few minutes before he died, Kazuma saw something emerging from it. A speckled band, as he described it.
If only Miss Pavlova had been able to shed some light on it, but she seemed as baffled as we are.
Yes. I wonder if she's telling us everything, though.
I'm not sure.
I know most people aboard would say the same thing about me, but there was something about that woman that didn't sit right with me. Do I make sharp S's?
Say something like this.
The sailor has a sharp hat.
I don't think so.
Sasato.
I think it's a little more noticeable. Yeah, it's a little more noticeable when you play it. I think you could check.
You. Where do you go? Sorry. I just went to the... Why? Who gave you permission for that? Well, Seaman Hosonaga did it. That new Japanese sailor, was it? Later I will roll him into ball and throw him in cold room. He's gone back to guarding the door.
I hope Inspector Hosonaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account.
He's really going out of his way to help us, isn't he? I swear, I have very sharp S's. Is it just me noticing that?
Yes.
It bothers me now. When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him for a steak at La Carnival. I think that's a bad idea, considering what has happened.
Yeah. That could be a very long time from now, Naruto-san. That too. You can look at the words that Kazuma wrote. And of course the new images.
So it's clear that the letters were written with the ink that was somehow slipped on the floor. They spell the Russian word for wardrobe.
It does seem to be
Unambiguous.
unambiguous pointer to Naruto-san as you were sleeping in that.
But to be truly unambiguous, it should have just spelled out my name, don't you think?
Well, either way, one fact remains. It's hard to imagine that Kazuma-sama would have written his last word in Russian.
Which begs the question of who did write it, because
Yeah, because...
did.
Alright. It really is such a beautiful color, this glass.
It looks like whatever it was is broken clean in two. But the other half is nowhere to be seen.
And then there's this brick-colored mark.
Which is shoe polish, according to that great detective you seem to know all about.
I suppose it must be from Kazuma-sama's shoes.
Maybe. But what I'd like to know is, how can the detective be so sure it's shoe polish and not something else?
Because he's a great detective, of course.
What else would it be? That's hardly a reason, isn't it?
Honestly, Sholmes has pretty good tech for the time.
These are the rules of passage. For travel aboard the SS Burya.
Passengers must not keep weapons or dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden.
So, by bringing her pet on board, Miss Pavlova has broken the rules.
She called it her friend, didn't she?
Yes, although we don't know what form this friend takes as yet.
I'm almost certain that whatever it is, it's inside the traveling case in her cabin.
Friend. There's more to this than it seems, I think.
And Kazuma broke the rules by bringing his katana.
And a stowaway.
Yeah, but, you know. More info. Ah! Look now, Hada-san. Seaman Stroganov is gone.
Strong enough?
The burly Russian sailor who was always crossing his arms and glaring at us.
Ah, all these Russian names are impossible to remember. The only one anyone really needs to remember is Ivan.
Oof. I'm assuming that's Jones.
Tra-la-la! Did you hear that? Sounded like someone singing.
Tra-la-la-la.
Tra-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la. Lira-lira-lay. I did it the detective way. Oh, I did it the great detective way.
This caroling. I know that look-alike voice.
Oh, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us.
Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlova's cabin while we can and investigate.
Definitely. Before that stringy knot crewman comes back.
It's Stroganov, not Stringy Knot. I don't even think I'm pronouncing it right, so if I'm butchering that. Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes, look!
Wow. You never know where he's gonna turn up next, do you?
Honestly, you don't. Should we call it? He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself.
Tra la 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 la, lira lira la lay. I did it the great detective way. He's still singing. Do you think he hasn't noticed us?
Or he's simply in extremely high spirits.
Yes, there were times, I'm sure you know, when the yard bit off more than it could. I'm sure you knew. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yard bit off more than it could knew or chew. Me read good words. Me words good read. And through it all, and there was doubt, it's lucky her luck was about. Excuse me. I solved it all, and stood tall. I did it the great detective way. Mr. Sholmes! is it? You want to fight? Seriously. Interrupting a fellow when he's singing, and I was just about to reach the climactic finish. Sorry, I thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now is as good as a time as any. I very nearly dropped you to the floor with one of my famous right hooks. Sure. Alright, I get the picture. Now, could you put those fists away? It's not. I find him very annoying. And dumb.
Mr. Sholmes, you seem to be examining something before we interrupted you.
Oh yes, that! I was immersed in studying the study of the ship's logs, as penned by the stockily-built crewman who's usually on guard here.
Oh yes, the ship's log. Oh wait, that's...
And did you find out anything useful from it? Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Which means that there was nothing to report, nothing to note. It happened, so... Okay, we have neighbors. I am willing to be a little loud, but I'm not going to do a maniacal laugh this time.
Okay.
For 2 reasons. My throat is already wearing out from reading. The second is, I'd rather not piss off our neighbors.
Okay.
So... You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
There's so much stuff that they couldn't write in.
Literally, because 2 a.m.'s around when Kazuma died. I'm gonna get you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the voices for a moment. I'm going to butcher Sasato's voice. Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. It would seem the crewman oft stands sentry in this first-class passageway. And he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour. Oh? He writes that in every 30 minutes.
Nothing to report?
Precisely. Put simply, the seaman wrote nothing to report when there is just that. As I suspected, it's not because there wasn't anything to report, it's there was too much to report. He hasn't had the time to focus in and write in all the details.
Yeah.
He wants to make it concise. He wants this to conclude before he writes it. The ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report. Again, that's because there was too much to report.
Do you mean?
Yes. There were circumstances afoot last night which led the seaman to being absent from his post.
What kind of circumstances? What happened?
Murder! That remains a mystery for now. But we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his irregular habit of scribing nothing to report in the log. There are important details. I shall stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective. Yes, it was actually. Otherwise, he's right. Even I would have assumed it just meant nothing happened. But yes, that is an excellent detail.
Yes, because now we know something.
And for the people who are upset that I don't yet like Sholmes, if he goes around and keeps doing stuff like this, then yes, I will grow to like him. But so far, he's only been a fucking idiot. So, I might grow to like him. I'm just saying, at the moment, I don't. Ah, you're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes brilliance. Again, several reasons why I'm not gonna hysterically laugh. Oh, ouch! What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourself. Seems to be afflicted with carbon monoxide is what I'm thinking.
Because literally everyone we talked to has had a headache since this morning. That's not right.
Actually, didn't even... Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Swear he mentioned it as well.
Nah, he didn't wake up this morning.
No, he mentioned it in his diary. Swear he did.
We don't have evidence for that. But I didn't think he did. But that could also explain why the guy didn't have anything to report. Explanation of ellipses.
Ellipses.
Though if it was monoxide, wouldn't everyone be dead?
Not necessarily. It's a small boat and people have been coming and going.
Oh, so you think enough air could have made it into that so people wouldn't die, but enough where they'd pass out for a while? Or, well, everyone was asleep, pretty much, but...
I think he shoved carbon monoxide in our room, and because we've been breathing the air in the cabinet for so long...
That doesn't explain why Sholmes and the other the detective has had these headaches too, though.
Okay, so air deprivation has stages. Oxygen deprivation has stages. It's not instantly you die, obviously.
Well, yeah,
You get symptoms. If it's just a small amount but never lethal, it's headaches.
Okay.
So let's assume we were in the cabinet and that allowed us to have enough air to make it to getting caught, then we were thrown out, and by that time the issue was resolved. The monoxide was then seeping out of the room after the person fixed the monoxide issue. then it seeped out and it caused oxygen a lack of oxygen in everyone who was on the inside of the ship.
I guess that can make sense.
Well, my friends, until our next encounter. He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as he wanders off down the passageway. Is something wrong, Susato? You seem lost in thought.
It's just, well, I feel the same.
Sorry?
Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. Even Susato has a headache, and she was in.
She is a headache.
And she was in third class.
We should check the boiler room.
A sort of continuous throbbing.
Oh, 2. Well, that explains why she's so cranky.
Maybe that's why that explains why Sholmes is doing so bad in this case, because he has a headache. He can't think completely straight.
Okay, and that'll be this part.
Bye.
Bye!